Come on, camera, adjust. Yeah. No. All good in the hood. Alright, ladies and gents, welcome back. I'm not liking this top knot. Welcome back. Today I thought I would talk about barbells, dumbbells, or machines. This is an essay that I have written, which is on my website, which you can check. The link is down in the description. Otherwise, go to dantesanese.com. Yes, so the fundamental question, barbells, dumbbells, or machines, which is best for the gains? The gains that everyone is seeking, you know? So yeah, a few clients have asked me that. I'm just going to preface that the difference in the equipment, everything actually has a place in a structured training program because they all do have their use and their utility. It just really depends on the specific outcomes or the specific areas that you want to work. So all barbells, dumbbells, and machines do have a place. I think there is a tendency for a purity stigma of people promoting barbell training relative to anything else, which actually was me once upon a time. That barbells trumped all, like their magical thing. Any progressive overload on any resistance sort of workout will actually help you with the gains, quote unquote. It's just choosing something and increasing it with time. Me being a personal trainer, I would program barbells mostly for my clients because, yeah, I do have a love for it. Like, that's how I started. That's where most of my progress came from. And that's how I would program it for most of my clients because of that. But there's going to be an equal amount of times where programming that wouldn't be right for them as opposed to times where programming for them would be appropriate. So I think it is just being cautious about what you see online or hear from other people. Yes, barbells do have a good benefit, but they're not necessarily more inherently beneficial than anything else whatsoever. The training that gives the most gains, quote unquote, is actually determined by a few things. Let me take that back. So in terms of gains, you have to actually really define what you mean by gains. So when someone says gains, upon me hearing it, it just sounds like they mean hypertrophy, so increasing in muscle size. But there's also gains in terms of strength. So you really have to get specific in terms of what your outcomes are. So the main things that actually affect the gains is going to be volume. So that's sets and reps of any given exercise. It's going to be load, and it's going to be range of motion. And these things are all going to be influenced to sort of give you your specific outcomes. So when it comes to hypertrophy work, it appears that time under tension is the most important thing in the research these days, which is the amount of duration which a muscle is put under tension. So you want the biggest range of motion essentially for any given movement, and you want to increase the amount of time on the concentric and eccentric phases that the muscle is under load, and that's going to sort of tear those fibers apart and allow for that rebuilding, that hypertrophy, for that muscle building aspect. But when it comes to strength, time under tension is not really something you want unless, well, actually no, it's just really not something you want. When it comes to strength, you really want a high load, and you want to be doing that for few reps. And if you've got a high load and low amount of repetitions done, then the likelihood is that you're not going to really be slowing down the repetitions, because that's not really what you're seeking. You're seeking to do maximal effort to increase your strength at a high load, so it's going to be pushing you to sort of your maximal amount of effort, which is going to help you adapt and perform better next time. So if time under tension is controlled for all the exercises, depending on the equipment, whether that's a barbell, a dumbbell, or a machine, and if you're controlled for the volume and the load, then in terms of hypertrophy, the only thing you're going to be looking at is the range of motion. So whatever muscle group you're looking for, you would look for the exercise that you get the biggest range of motion and that you feel the most stretch and that you feel the most tension, because that's going to be the one that allows you to get the best hypertrophy benefit out of. For example, like as I said, prefer barbell training, and I would prefer a single leg Romanian deadlift, but I'm not going to get the same sort of stretch out of that as I would a seated hamstring curl, because even though it is a machine, I get the most stretch in that range of motion because it's isolated to specifically my hamstring. So I'd probably do that more for hypertrophy of the hamstring. You know what? You know what trumps actually all the things that I've said though? Consistency and adherence. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter what you choose to do, whether it's a dumbbell, a barbell, or a machine. So long as you're continuing to show up in the gym over a long period of time and you're continuing to put the effort in and you're continuing to try to progressive overload, trying to make the sessions more difficult, and you are seeing that progress over time, then it doesn't necessarily really matter if it is a barbell, a dumbbell, or a machine, because the one that you stick to the most, the one that you enjoy, and the one that you do for a long period of time for life is the one that's going to help you the most. Because a lot of people get into the gym and they'll worry about the specifics of whatever and they'll fall off in 2 weeks, or they won't be consistent, they won't be adherent, or maybe 2 out of the 7 days of the week they're actually sticking to the program. That's not going to get you anywhere, really. It's about sticking to general principles for a long period of time and applying that effort for a long period of time that you really get the actual benefit out of. There's a saying called, are you hunting field mice or antelope? And it's the idea that you shouldn't be wasting energy chasing mice, but you should be wasting your energy or using your energy chasing something of more caloric benefit, such as an antelope. So don't major in minors and spend your time with the bigger issues. Just get into the gym, start training, and trying to keep to a consistent training schedule and program. So yeah, ladies and gents, I hope that helped. If you have any questions, please let me know. Leave them in the comments below. If you liked this, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Goes a long way for the channel. Other than that, I hope you all have a great day, night, whatever, wherever you are. So yeah, peace.